Did you get it, honey?
I did, kind of.
Excellent. My wife Sue and I have a travel channel called Our Journey in Myles, and we decided to go on this Holland America Cruise Line 24-day Mexican Riviera and Circle Hawaii collector tour, and it starts in San Diego. Now, what I'm displaying on screen is the different episodes that we created when we visited this city as an RVer, and we're hoping it proves the point that what you need to do is book extra time either before or after your cruise to visit all of the places that we did, because this is a fairly fantastic and tourist-friendly place to visit. Now, of course, you can visit a few of these things on screen in between the Mexican Riviera leg and the Hawaii leg of the cruise. But trust me, Balboa Park on its own will take a number of days. So that's tip number one. Sue and I would like to invite you to come along on our 24-day cruise so that you can see if the Holland America Line is something that you would maybe like to try, or if you've never been on a cruise, this is going to give you a little flavor of what you can expect on a day-to-day basis. Any cruise you go on, the first day is just a flurry of activities as you go to all of the different areas on the ship that are going to be at your disposal for the entire duration of the cruise. And what you're seeing here is one of the entertainment venues that during the day was the Lincoln Center stage, but in the evening turned into the B.B. King's Lounge for music and dancing. So this is the entrance to the world stage. It spans Deck 2, the main entrance, and Deck 3, the upper level seating. This is where all the main shows would happen, as well as during the day there would be shore excursion talks. You'd get to meet the captain, or there would just be the EXC talks on all sorts of different subjects to educate you. You can see that it's a very professional, high-tech, and modern facility. As you walk around the ship on your first day, you're going to start to discover the different lounges that there are and the different styles of entertainment they have. We would, of course, play the music that they're playing, but we don't have a license for their music. We can tell you that the Billboard On-Board Lounge ended up being our favorite one, and these particular entertainers, these dueling piano people, they were just fantastic.
So our first day on the ship was exhausting, getting here, and then unpacking, but we had a great lunch at the...
Well, we ate at two places.
Lida?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Lida. That's how you say it. We had lunch at the
Lido.
I'm losing my balance here.
At the Lido.
The Lido, and then we had a nice dinner in the dining area.
In the main dining area.
Yeah. Good morning. It is day 2 on our Holland America cruise. And yesterday was a flurry getting on, and then we were walking around exploring places. Saw a couple cool things last night that we'll be showing you too.
So we're on our way to our first stop along the way, and part of the beauty of being on a cruise is you don't have to care about anything. We don't even know where we're going. That when we finally get there, that's when we're first going to know where we are. After breakfast, we're going to go to a speech, or like a talk that's going to tell us everything that's going to be happening.
Oh.
And where we're going.
All right, that sounds good. I'm hungry. This place has tons of food. Let's get going. Day 2, we're at the Lido Market, I think they call it, on the ninth floor. Ooh, you're up in my face. And actually, look at my breakfast. a special omelet made for me. They have so much here that can be cut, just custom made. Mark's is hearty.
Let's check mine out. Mine was the standard, go through the line and just have them shovel it on there. Super quick, and it's not as if we're early. We're pretty late, actually. It's about 9:40 in the morning. We've got to quick get to our meeting and see what the Mexican Riviera stops are going to be like. So let's eat up, honey.
So this day is a sale day, and you can see not a lot to see except our wake.
Well, we actually have a pro tip already on the channel here that we just discovered that the Canalito restaurant in the evening, that is an upcharge for you to dine at, you know, for some different adventure. But during the day, this seating area is utilized for the commoners that go to the Lido market, like Sue and Mark. But you can upclass it a little bit if you want to, if you're a little creative, and have ways to feel a little special when you're having your coffee out on the ocean. Promenade deck. This is an area that shows how tall the ship is. Wow. Some of the fancy cabins up there that hang over the side of the ship.
Ports of call in the Baja Peninsula. As the marlin fishing capital, water sports playground, and home to luxury retreats for celebrity and honeymooners. Any honeymooners in the audience?
All right.
Yeah? Okay, so
Life is a honeymoon.
To walk around.
So this is the World Theater,
And for 7 or 8 weeks.
and they have some great talks throughout.
Anyway, this sparkling destination where
Now we're getting a little talk on all the excursions they offer.
Exploring or the different ports that we'll be visiting. So what we highly recommend is to start the day with a hearty breakfast, get energized for the day, and out of San Diego, on the way down to Cabo, Mazatlan.
Okay, you caught me here temporarily walking through the shops, but trust me, I was looking for t-shirts and one day different toothpaste and I don't know, maybe even some aspirin one day. But this was one of the cooler lounges that we liked. It was actually two lounges in one. In the evening, it was the B.B. King Blues Lounge, and that's the music that we appreciated the most to dance to. And then in the center of the ship, this particular restaurant, which was a specialty restaurant, which had all sorts of things that were included in your fare, and it did have some fancy coffee drinks that you had to pay for, but the pea soup and the bakery and the crepes they had, this was a fun restaurant to visit, and it was conveniently located in the center of the ship. Every time you were walking through, it seemed like we had to stop.
Okay, we're just kind of walking around and exploring, and I don't know if you can see it here. Anyways, right here, it says this is the studio, and they do have like a painting class going on, and our friends that are coming on board in San Diego are part of a knitting group. So my guess is that they will be using this room. You know, on a video we saw they did have like an internet lab or workspace, and when we asked, they said that this was it. They took it out for some reason, and now it's just kind of a conference room for different artsy things.
Welcome to the new corporate headquarters of the Our Journey in Nautical Miles YouTube channel. We're just starting out here, so we're a little late on students this week.
Yeah,
But
you're capturing their attention, baby.
yes,
Look at that. They're just
hopeful
swarming.
that more people catch on and read the flyer and the circular. But nonetheless, we're still going to proceed with today's lesson on how to clean out your black tank. cruise. What we're still doing is we're still in the discover the ship mode.
What's where?
And if there's a 100% process that we have to do, I'm thinking we're at 28.7%. I don't know about you, Sue. I still don't have a clue where I am half of the time. I still have to look at all the diagrams. I've got to look outside to see which direction the water is going. And generally, I learned that I always go where my wife tells me to go. Excellent. So I'm still at that point.
All right, we decided to actually take a walk. So this is on the 3rd level, and this is the only deck that goes all the way around. It doesn't make you turn back. You can do a full lap around. Wow, look at that. I'm thinking I might have to tighten my hat.
The very first cruise I went on, I unknowingly went on a ship that had a promenade deck just like this one, where you could go all the way around. And I so loved that. That was literally one of the more memorable things that I did on my first cruise. And remember, this is our first Holland American cruise. I can't tell you how happy I was when I found out that on this ship, the promenade goes all the way around with no monkey business, all the way across the front and all the way across the back. I've been on some ships where you had to change all sorts of different levels. I've also been on one where the walk actually ended. I can remember when I was younger and I was actually still jogging. I'd be jogging like this, and I can't tell you how cool it was, the feeling of jogging with the water. And you feel like you're like flying through the air, you know, and then you go around the other side and you're, you know, running against the water, and you feel like you're going like a freaking turtle, you know, like, oh, come on. 3 laps equals 1 mile.
All right.
And it says that the deck is slippery when wet, no jogging. That's the only reason why I'm not going to be jogging. So I was looking at this thing and I was thinking, this little radar, sonar, whatever the heck this thing is here, I'm thinking, that thing's pretty important because that gearbox is giant. And then I go on this side, and I look at the electronics package on there that's all thin to keep it cool, but then here's the real corker. I see this pin here with the Zerk fittings, so that you undo the bolts on the flange and you pull this thing all the way over here so you can work on it. To put that much effort in something like that, that's important.
High tea time on the cruise. Oh, you're ready. Oh my gosh, look at Mark. Isn't he handsome?
Yeah.
Tonight on day number 2, we've been at sea all day. Tonight is dress up dinner time. Most of the time it's going to be casual dressing, but today is dressy, so there we are.
Right. I think on the 1 week cruise it's 2 dressy nights, and on the longer it's either 3 or 4. I think it's
I saw 3.
3 at least.
I think, yeah.
But pro tip: this is one of the times you probably want to check to see if your suit jacket still fits before you go. And
in other words, Mark can walk and sit down. Beyond that, don't raise your arms.
Right, no jumping jacks tonight.
Darn washing machine.
All right, Sue's getting shown to our table. It was not 15 minutes wait like they said. It literally was about 10 minutes tops. We'll see where they put us. Ah, in the back.
Ah, I see me.
Took 15 cruises till I finally got on the back at a table during dinner to enjoy that.
Did you always want it for the evening?
Looks like there's a guy water skiing out there.
Mark, you made me look. I put the camera down.
So whether it's a dress-up night or a casual dress-up night, you had a show in the world stage to look forward to literally every night. All sorts of different styles, all sorts of different subject matters. Now, when you would be traveling from the dining room to the show hall, you would walk through some of the different lounges, and you could choose to sit and listen to music or dance, or you could park yourself in a lounge here like we did and take a trivia contest and enjoy a few drinks and wait for the main act in that lounge in the evening, which was a comedian. We love comedians, and on the Koningsdam, they had two great ones for our enjoyment. So this is the view that we have for breakfast. Not too shabby. We actually started on the other side of the ship and went through the buffet line, but when all I saw was water, I thought, I wonder if we're close to land. And lo and behold, this is what I got to see. And as beautiful as it was even better when I got to say to Sue, "Good morning, Sue. What are we doing today on day 3, Monday, in Cabo San Lucas?"
Right, it's day 3 on our cruise, and we're at Cabo San Lucas, and they're actually tendering them in. We couldn't get into the bay, we're too big, so people are getting on their tender boats, and there they go. We're going to do something different today. We are going to stay on the boat. It's exciting seeing people go, but we want to kind of see what it's like when a lot of people are off the boat. So day 3, here we go.
Now, Sue and I have been on enough cruises to know that there are times where if you really, really want to take it slow and you really want to relax, one of the best things is to stay back on the ship, because essentially most of the ship empties out. I mean, why not? Look at all the wonderful things there are to see and do on shore here. But we had been RVing nonstop for coming up on 6 years, and we just wanted to sit around and do nothing. While at sea, we had visited the exercise fitness center, and although it was full of people, there was still plenty of availability on equipment and treadmills. But if you want that absolute perfect center of the ship view, this is the day to go. What the heck are you doing here?
Waiting on my pizza. This is one of the perks being on this cruise too, is that you can get a custom-made pizza and a salad.
Right in back of me?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. We love pizza. So while we were enjoying our pizza in the pizzeria, we kept looking down at the pool, and there was literally hardly anybody in it. And the water is so perfectly crystal clear, and the temperature is perfect in the pool as well as the hot tubs. We decided that that is our next activity. Obviously, we're back in the room. And
We are.
what are we doing now, honey?
All right, this morning we had our breakfast, and we were on some of the upper decks to see as they're tendering people out. And it's going to clear out, so we're going to go to the pool now. And after that, we're going to find a nice quiet area where I can read a book. We're taking this day as kind of calm down day instead
Yeah.
of running in town.
Yeah, we'll see how the pool is. The water looks super crystal clear.
Yeah.
We've been told that it's warm. I'm going to try the hot tub out. I'm going to spare the audience. We're not going to take the camera along. Get the Chan Man in his Speedo, you know.
I'm going to say it's probably one of my favorite spots here because it's quiet, can read, do some computer work, and they've got a coffee bar.
Okay, time to get busy on my relaxing day. You see the old Chan Man here doing a little file management to stay organized for our upcoming videos that we knew we were going to make, and in fact the one you're looking at. But just take a look around and see this lounge. We've been up here already where there was literally no seats to be had on the days where there's a lot to see. But on this particular day, we had the place to ourselves and we loved it. You look pretty comfortable. What are you doing?
Enjoying myself. Reading a book.
Well, we've got some tasks to take care of. Would you like to do it right now?
What do we have to do?
We got to go eat.
Oh, I'm in. I'm in. Let's do it.
Sue and I signed up for anytime seating. We did not do anything that was reserved, but we finally made it to the reserved area, which we can get into when they have room. Normally we're down below.
All right, Mark. I can't back up enough with your phone. I should have brought
What?
mine.
Oh, wait a second.
Oh. Much better.
How's this?
Yeah, that's good.
Can we still hold hands?
No, just stay there.
Okay. You never really know what's going to be one of your favorite moments that you're going to remember on the cruise, and this was one of them, where there was 2 shows where it was live music accompanying the BBC Planet Earth series video.
Care if I join you, mister?
So, you know, we got game night for an hour, but then, you know, we got an hour until the comedians. So guess what we're going to be doing for that
What are we
hour?
doing?
Dancing, honey.
Huh?
This is BB King's.
Yeah?
So the dancing's from 9 to 10. The
Oh.
comedy's from 10
10:30.
I think.
So we're dancing.
Yep.
Game night. Awesome.
Good evening and welcome to the BB King Blues Club. And now please put your hands together for the BB King All-Star Band.
Good evening, everyone. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Darryl Wayne.
How's everybody doing tonight? I said, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the BB King Blues Lounge. We're going to start you off with a little Very White, if that's all right. Please remember that the dance floor is open at all times. Do not be afraid.
The Holland America Koningsdam had 2 comedians that performed during the 24-day cruise we were on. One of the shows would be in the BB King's Blues Club, and then the second show for each of the comedians would be on the world stage for a much larger crowd.
Do I have everything? Today is day 4, and we got up way too early. What were we up at 5:30?
That's not the problem. We were
That's the problem.
dancing
Oh,
until
yeah.
midnight.
Yeah, so we didn't get much sleep, but today is day 4, January 10th, and we're going to Mazatlan. Is that how you say it?
Correct.
Mazatlan, Mexico.
Right.
So we're gonna go ashore and see what we can see.
Let's get some breakfast so we
Oh,
can
let's-
sustain ourselves, honey.
Let's get breakfast and everything else.
Yeah. All right. Breakfast is an easy jaunt for us. We just zig and zag, and before you know it, we're at the elevator shaft that takes us everywhere we need to go. And all we do is look at this map and select where we want to go. Why don't you push the button, honey? So whether you're going to get on a tender or just walk out onto the pier if the boat is tied up to the dock, you have to go down the gangway, which is on deck A. And our cabin was on deck 1, so that was always an easy jaunt for us. Now what we were doing is we were meeting with a group to go on our shore excursion, which was basically a walking tour of old Mazatlan. Now this particular dock that we were at was actually a working pier, and that required you to safely be transported from the ship to the exit point on a shuttle that was provided. Now on all the other episodes that we're going to be producing, we're going to show you all of the shore excursions we went on, but the spoiler alert is that this particular one we ended up liking the best, and wouldn't you know it, it was the cheapest. It was only $59.95. As we walked through the proverbial gift shop at the port, we got on shuttles and we went through this vibrant, colorful town on our way to our first stop, where we all got together and formally got to meet Andreas, our excellent guide that was just the nicest guy and was very informal. We could ask any questions.
Okay. My name is Andres. Andres.
Any town that you ever visit when you're traveling, the best way to see it is to get a guide, or to go on a red bus tour where your guide is talking to you while you're driving by. But that's just the point. You're usually just driving by. When you take these walking tours, you are so immersed in what you're seeing and what you're visiting. There's literally no comparison. Now, right across from the church that we visited was this center area for all of the residents, and that's kind of how it is in the small Mexican towns we were visiting, where they would have pods of communities that had common centers that were usually encircled by government offices and churches and all the important things in one's life. We never felt rushed on this tour, and we really were able to take our time when we were visiting all of these different places. And I have to tell you that I was amazed how many miles we ended up walking, although I didn't feel like I had walked that far. And when I booked it, I thought, well, what am I going to get for $59.95? Well, I'm telling you what I got. I got the best tour of the whole cruise. I'd like to thank once again all of our subscribers for showing up last minute to this tour of Mazatlan, and we'll do it again in Puerto Rico, so I hope you're, no, Puerto Vallarta, so I'm hoping you're there.
This is his encore performance. Oh, God. Whoa, whoa.
And now we're walking along the ocean on our way to our final thing that we're going to take a look at, and that is the cliff divers. It's no e-bikes. The beauty of this tour is it gave you the lay of the land. And when we're done looking at the cliff divers here, if a person wanted to, you could literally just turn around and come back to all of the shops that are directly in back of me. But I thought I'd show you this beautiful view here that we had, and show you a little bit about how cool the town was and the little cafes and shops that were there that you could choose to come and visit later. Now when you visit the cliff divers here, and you see the seriousness of this whole operation, and you hear this guy whistling here to get the attention of the crowd, That's for real, because literally he'll jump every 15-20 minutes or so, and the jump itself literally only lasts about a second. So if you're looking the wrong way at the wrong time, you're going to miss the whole thing. I'm here to tell you that when you see these guys jump, you are more than happy to give these guys a tip to see what they're able to do. It's just amazing. Take a look at this guy. Now, I can't imagine swimming in this water with all those wild currents, getting smacked up against the rocks, much less climbing up this in bare feet, but he's doing it. Now, fortunately, we had two cameras. We had Sue's camera, and now we're going to get the view from the Chan Man. And I think what I want you to concentrate on this time is this guy really is reading the water. And you watch him casually looking at it to his right, and he's trying to time it, and he's obviously done this more than once. But when you see him go in the water with my camera work, you're going to see how he hit it just perfectly. And another corker you're going to want to watch for is how close he actually gets to the rocks. This was the end of the tour, and we had a choice to make. We could either be driven to a restaurant and where the shops were, and you could be let off to do some walking around and exploring on your own, or if you chose to eat at that restaurant would actually pay for your taxi to take you back to the ship on time. But because the ship is so fantastic and we love the atmosphere of the ship, and we had walked so far, we decided that we would take the shuttle directly back to the ship and start enjoying everything it has to offer. It's 4:55. The all aboard sign said we had to be on deck by 4:30, and they were going to leave at 5 promptly. And I'm here to tell you that they don't fool around on this Holland American cruise. They literally are going to be pulling out of here right on time. This is a real working dock at this particular stop, and that's why when we got off the ship, we had to go on mandatory little trolleys that drove us around to the main entrance so that we wouldn't get in the way or get in trouble or get run over. It was very efficient.
We are out of the port and we are heading out to sea.
So this is an example of the beauty of going on a cruise. You can always count on the peacefulness and relaxation that you can return to after no matter how much activity you chose to do during the day. One of my personal favorite things to do is to watch the ships coming in the morning, and when it's time to leave, I love to go out on deck and find my favorite spot where I have the best view of what's happening. And I look at all of the other ships that people are on. Who knows, maybe I want to be on one of those. And I like to look at the cargo ships and all of the working things that are happening simultaneously in this same port that's providing us the ability to go on these cruises and have the luxury of going on vacation or being retired. So do you think any of the crew on a ship like this, after they finally retire, do you think they go on a cruise? Yeah, I'm thinking not. I'm thinking maybe they're more an RVer like Sue and I. This video has been quite a departure for Sue and I. Our channel, Our Journey in Myles, has been for almost 6 years just about full-time RV travel. But I'm here to tell you that we have plenty of other things to show you. We only showed you the first 4 days of our 24-day Mexican and Hawaiian cruise adventure. We invite you to stick with us for the rest of the episodes. And until then, we'll see you next week.